I'll pick you up at 10 tomorrow. Do you think you will be okay?
I'm too nervous. I feel like I'm going to wake up too early, so I'm totally fine.
It sounds like you're not going to be okay.
It's a wedding greeting, and I'm meeting your mother for the first time. It's impossible not to be nervous.
I'm sorry, I really wanted to greet your parents first.
No, I'm sorry that my parents' schedule didn't work out. I'm still not sure if your mother is okay with the souvenirs we bought. Should I bring something else?
I'm sure it's fine. We bought Mom's favorites. Besides, my mom lives alone and she won't be able to eat it all by herself.
That's true, but...
I'd like to ask you a favor. If you don't feel comfortable with it, you can always say no.
A favor? What's wrong?
Actually, before we go to meet her tomorrow, my mother wants to get in touch with you.
Oh, what do you mean?
She wants me to give your contact information. I told her that we're meeting tomorrow anyway, so if we're going to talk, that's the time to do it. She said there's something she wants to ask you before.
I wonder what she's going to ask me. I'm totally fine with it.
I didn't get the details either. She says she's gonna fix us lunch tomorrow, so maybe something related to that. Like if there is anything you don't like to eat.
That's certainly something I'd ask first if I were in her shoes.
Do you mind if I connect?
Of course not. Anyways, I'm sure we'll be in touch more often once we're married.
My mom lives off of my dad's inheritance and my money, and she has a lot of free time on her hands. If you allow it once, you will most likely receive message attacks. But do you think you'd be okay?
Don't put it that way. That sounds scary. It's okay. I'd rather be able to communicate with her than not communicate at all.
You're right. You're so good at communicating with people, right?
Well, that's how I managed to survive.
I'll give your information to my mother then. If she was being too annoying while you were busy, don't hesitate to tell me. I'll make sure to let her know.
Thank you.
And if she says something you don't like, just let me know.
Something I don't like?
I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, I'd like to think so, but... You know, my mom's a little picky about education.
Education?
My father graduated from Harvard University, and my mom went to a sophisticated university. So she's like, education is a must. I was forced to take the middle school entrance exam to enter a private middle school, and they also decided on high school and university without asking me anything.
Was that so?
I really wanted to go to the same school as my friends. I was so surprised when I found out they made me take the high school entrance exams.
Am I going to be okay?
She told me to be like my dad, so I think maybe she just wanted me to have a higher education. I really want to believe that. I don't think she'd say anything to you. I'm sorry I made you feel uneasy.
No, it's okay. She's the mother who gave birth and raised you. I don't think she would judge people based on their academic background.
Thank you for saying that.
And I'm sure she will understand when I explain to her.
You are very reliable. I'll send my mother your info.
Yeah, thanks.
Hi, how are you? I'm Anna, Sam's mother. I'm sorry to contact you on such short notice, even though we're meeting tomorrow. Is this Mia's number?
Hello, nice to meet you. I have been in a relationship with Sam. Thank you for contacting me.
There's something I wanted to ask you before we meet tomorrow, and that is why I asked my son to give me your contact information. Was that okay with you?
Yes, of course. I'm glad to hear from you. By the way, what is it that you wanted to ask me?
Tomorrow we're going to have lunch together, right? I was planning to order sushi. There's a great place nearby. I was wondering if it is okay to eat raw fish.
Thank you very much. I love sushi.
That's great. You contacted me to confirm that? Sushi is an incidental question. Incidental question. From here is what I really wanted to hear from you. Did you know that both my son and my husband graduated from Harvard University? Yes, of course I know that. My husband is no longer with us, but he graduated from one of the best universities in the US, and then he worked for one of the biggest companies in the US. Thankfully, I could stay as a housewife too. After all, in this world, education is everything, isn't it? I think that's partially true. Sam graduated from Harvard and works for a company with a good salary. He sends me money every month even though I can live on my husband's inheritance. He doesn't want me to spend the inheritance so much for the future. Sam told me about the money he sends you. He's a wonderful son, isn't he? Yes, he is. When my husband died, I didn't know what to do. But with his support, I can live on that. Above all, I'm so happy to see my masterpiece like this. Masterpiece? You mean Sam? I made him try all kinds of education from a young age, and it was worth it to send him to a private school since he was in middle school and then to Harvard. I've heard that you were passionate about education. My husband's parents are both highly educated. I didn't go to Harvard, but I went to a famous private university. I heard you graduated from a very prestigious private university. That's right. It's often called the University for the Princess. But its deviation score is higher than most famous private universities. My parents also graduated from a university. I really think that smartness is something that is inherited. Inherited, huh? That's why I want my son to have a relationship with a well-educated woman and marry an educated woman, and have children who are smart. I see. Now, here's the important thing. Which university did you go to, Mia? I'm very sorry to say this, but I didn't go to university. What? What do you mean? Did you say you didn't even go to Harvard nor a private university? I'm sorry. I didn't go to any public or private schools. Oh, so you went to a university overseas? My educational background is a high school graduate. A high school graduate? You're kidding, right? How can such a person meet my son? Oh no, this is some kind of joke, isn't it? Is this kind of joke popular among young people these days? No, it's not a joke. You and my son met at work and had an in-house romance, right? That's what I heard. As you said, it was an in-house romance. If you work at the same company as my son, you must have a good education to get a job. So why would a high school graduate? Please allow me to explain it to you. Did you get the job through some back channel? What? Back channel? I'm sure that's right. You probably enter the company using women as a weapon. If you get into a good company, you're more likely to meet a well-educated, well-paid man and have a better chance of getting married. I can't believe that my precious, precious son, whom I took so much care of, will be caught by such a stupid and cunning woman. Wait a minute, Mother. Let me explain properly. I don't want to be called Mother. I don't want to be your mother-in-law either. Please pretend this marriage never happened. My son was not raised cheap enough to marry a high school graduate like you. Wow. It's true that my final education is a high school graduate, but I have my reasons. No matter what the reason is, it doesn't change the fact. The fact is that you graduated from high school. He's always been good at studying, but he doesn't have an eye for women. The girlfriend he brought back in the past says she wouldn't go to university either. I guess I should help him prepare the wife. What? Prepare? My husband and I are both highly educated. If I contact some people, I'm sure we can find a match for him who is a young lady from a good family. Please listen to me. I decline. If I keep talking to a high school graduate, I'll get stupid. So I'll leave you alone now. Please give up on marrying Sam.
Please, wait a minute. Please let me talk to you, including Sam.
I told you to give up on marrying Sam, didn't I? I haven't even prepared sushi, so get the hell out of here. If my late husband finds out that a high school graduate stepped into our house, he would be really sad.
I came here to talk to you.
I don't want to talk to you.
Even so, why would you turn us away at the door like that?
It's your fault for trespassing on our noble property.
Sam is angry too.
He's just a child. He doesn't understand. He'll understand in a little while.
You didn't even listen to Sam's opinion, and mine, and I was really surprised when you poured a bucket of water on me.
It looked really good on a high school graduate.
So you're saying you don't want to listen to us?
You think a high school graduate story is worth listening to? Don't buy yourself any favors. You're just a high school graduate.
You will regret it.
It's you who will regret that you couldn't marry my son. A high school graduate doesn't deserve a son who graduated from Harvard. Tell him the truth and break up with my son.
Your son works for me.
What? What are you talking about? Works for you? Of course not. I can understand if you were his subordinate.
Well, not exactly my subordinate, but an employee I have hired. He's almost like my right-hand man. I'd say partner is more appropriate than subordinate.
Hired? What? What do you mean?
Are you finally willing to listen to me?
Explain it to me quickly. Why is my son your employee?
It's like I said. I am the president of the company your son works for.
President? Don't be silly. How can you be the president when you graduated from high school?
I started my own business when I was in middle school. It's not that unusual these days.
Starting a business in middle school?
I think studying is important, but I wanted to focus on growing the company rather than taking exams. I wanted to focus on expanding the size of the company during my high school years, so I chose not to go to university.
I beg your pardon?
In my case, my parents were also running a company, so they were very understanding.
You're not telling me that my son is working for a company started by a middle school student, right?
Oh, that company was bought out when I was still a teenager.
Bought out?
I sold it. Sold it for a pretty good price. The company I have right now is the one that I started when I was in my 20s using the money as a capital.
Wait a minute. What? You sound like a shrewd businessman.
I wouldn't go so far as to call myself a shrewd businessman, but I'd say I'm one of the successful people. Like I can own 3 departments in a high-rise condominium.
A 3 department in a high-rise condominium? How much money are you making?
However, I'm still a high school graduate. I'm a business owner and I'm proud of my social credibility, but when people mention my educational background, it's a sore point for me. If you think educational background is the most important thing, I have nothing to say.
No. I just thought that if you only had a high school diploma, you'll be after Sam's money. I don't know. I didn't know you.
You didn't want to listen to me, did you?
It was all a misunderstanding. Yes, there were misunderstandings.
I was very much looking forward to meeting the mother of such a nice man like Sam. I thought that since you raised someone like him, you must be an amazing person. I guess my expectation was too high. I don't think I will be able to greet you properly face to face, so we're leaving.
Wait a minute. I'll get the sushi now.
Why don't we have a little chat? It seems we need to get to know each other better. I've decided to leave based on Sam's decision, so if you'll excuse me... Wait a minute, Mia.
From the moment I saw your name, I knew there was something about you. Isn't Mia a wonderful name? And you're a beautiful woman, right? Educational background doesn't matter, does it? What matters is what you've done.
Just because Sam said he's cutting you off, I don't think you need to flatter me.
No, I just want to talk to you.
I'm sorry. I don't think I want to talk to you anymore.
Please don't say that. We're going to be in-laws, right? You're going to be the wife of my son. We should talk to get to know each other better and get along better.
I'm not marrying into your family.
What? What do you mean?
I mean it as it is. I'm not getting married to him. Sam is going to be marrying into my family.
Wait a minute, what? You're joking, right?
Your son doesn't want a surname from a family that only values the academic background of people. He won't give it up. He said he's cutting off his family name and everything.
That's not true. He's my only son, and if he does that, my family would be...
It is Sam's choice. He said he's at the end of his patience.
He's at the end of his patience.
You've always denied his decisions. He said he's been surrounded by your decisions for a long time. Even when he made a girlfriend, you made them break up once she mentioned that she wants to go to vocational school instead of university.
I only chose the right person for Sam.
That ex-girlfriend went to a fashion school. She's now a world-famous wedding dress designer. Did you know that?
You're kidding.
She's the designer of the dress I want to wear for my wedding too. She is now happily married and raising a family, and her work is going well too. In the end, there is a tendency to place importance on academic background in some areas, but I think it is also important to respect individuals other than their academic background. Did you look at anything other than Sam's academic background?
Of course I did. I'm his mother.
But you didn't even know about the company he was working for.
Since he graduated from Harvard and his salary was really good, I assumed he'd be working for a big company just like his father.
He said he's going to stop sending money from his salary.
What? Stop sending money?
That's what it means to cut ties with him.
Oh no. What am I supposed to do with my life?
I'm sorry. I thought we'd get married and become a family, even if it's in-law status.
It's not too late. I can go out to your place myself. Let's redo the wedding greeting.
There's no need to redo it. It actually didn't even start. You were the one who dumped a bucket of water on me before it even started.
I'm really sorry about that. I apologize.
I'm glad we met once at least.
Let's meet again and again from now on, not just once.
We've decided to break off our relationship with you, so I know it's been a real short time, but goodbye.
I said my final greetings and blocked her. I deleted her contact. Sam also blocked her and deleted her contact as well. I never heard from his mother again. Now she received no allowance from her son and spends her remaining inheritance little by little. I only heard from his relatives that she is leading a lonely life, crying when she looks at the